Chairman.
Mr. Fry from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for having this hearing today. To our witnesses, thank you, Ms. Mose. I'm always struck when we have people who are victims in crime, just in general, who come to this committee, who testify. It's incredibly brave of you to be here. We appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your son's story with us. You know, we find ourselves in this perplexing situation since I've been here in 6 months, that we are constantly looking at, whether it's New York, whether it's Washington, D.C. and the Oversight Committee. We are talking about, and the attorneys on the panel talked about this pretty easily, the inability of district attorneys to prosecute crimes and enforce the laws that are on the books. We even had, in the case of New York, we even had Democrat city councilmen saying that the district attorney was refusing to do his job, and it has increased crime on the streets. And of course, we talk about, in this case, organized retail crime, and the criminals are winning in our society right now. They really are. There's this wide gulf that exists, that we want to play footsie and we want to play cute with law enforcement, but people are suffering, businesses are suffering, families are suffering. Just in the district that I represent, the Myrtle Beach Police Department, just a few years ago, along with federal agents, had a task force that opened an investigation into organized retail crime. An estimated $24,000 worth of new in-the-box merchandise, headphones, Roombas, power tools, 9 rifles, 7 shotguns, an ATV, another ATV, a John Deere lawnmower, Easy Go golf cart, 7 trailers. This is just a drop in the bucket, and this is just in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We see this time and time again, and that's the problem, is that I think you guys hit on it very easily, which is these things happen, and criminals think that they have a carte blanche invitation to continue doing these things because there are no repercussions for the actions that they do. Attorney General, I want to turn to you real quick. Last year, Congress passed the Informed Consumers Act, requiring online marketers to verify the identities of the majority of their sellers. We know that stolen goods appear in these marketplaces in large quantity. We hear from retailers constantly. The Inform Act goes into effect at the end of this month. How would this law help your office be more effective in prosecuting ORC cases?
I think the act will help. The majority of goods these days are being sold by the fences online on these various marketplaces online. So requiring a higher level of certainty and knowing your supplier, I guess would be the right way to put it, is certainly going to help. And indeed, most of the criminal leads, well, I won't say most, many of the criminal leads that prosecutors do get are in the actual selling of the good online and using a number of methods to determine that this is likely the same good that was stolen from a Home Depot a month before or whatever. So the more we can learn about the transactions and those who are selling the goods online, the more tools we will have in the toolbox to bring these prosecutions, which need to be brought. If we prosecute more cases, it's not rocket science. The problem will diminish if we increase the amount of prosecution. And
in your office, do you coordinate right now with retailers on implementation of this to better understand how this new tool will build opportunities to prosecute these cases?
We coordinate with retailers a great deal already, and we have not discussed this new tool yet, but I'm sure that we will be. The retailers are actually a very good source of information. And like Mrs. Mo's son, many of them have individuals whose sole job is to keep track of and try to deter and diminish the in-store thefts. So the retailers are an invaluable source in prosecuting.
Thank you. And just briefly, part of this, I look at this issue. Part of this is maybe like Lululemon fired their employees for going after somebody who was stealing, right? So there's some corporate issues that are related to this. Part of this is the inability of district attorneys to do their job, quite frankly, and prosecute cases. But the task that we have, at least in Congress, is there, would it be helpful to have a federal partner prosecute these cases across interstate lines? And I'll leave that, Attorney General, or to the other lawyers on the panel.
Yeah, I mentioned something about that point. I think we have to bring the maximum number of prosecutors to bear, period. And that means reducing the threshold. Right now, there seems to be, at least in the middle part of the country, a $250,000 threshold before the prosecutors will be, in the U.S. Attorney's offices will be interested. It would be better if they would be interested in interstate cases at a lower level. In my state, we're bringing state prosecutors to bear, so the burden doesn't just fall on county attorneys and district attorneys. And I think, resources to hire attorneys at all levels are important. We need more prosecution to occur.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm out of time. I yield back.
Thank you. The ranking member has some documents she wants to